Welcome to another episode of the Catboy Rants. Today I'd like to go over a little subject that has been near and dear to me, and that is, of course, movies and books, how they translate back and forth. Especially one. I'll bring up two, but the one I want to bring up first is one that's going to be coming out very soon. It's one I'm actually going to wait on seeing. It's called World War Z. Those of you who know, it was written by Max Brooks, also the same gentleman who wrote the Zombie Survival Guide, which I recommend both books to actually go ahead and read. However, the movie, I'm not quite sure if I'm going to watch it. Just because with the movie itself, you notice a couple things about it versus the book. And those of you who've read it, you notice one thing, and I do apologize if I give away any spoilers. One, the book is all done in interviews. Just basically survivors of the zombie war, which is a great thing. I mean, you get viewpoints from a person that's not there. Kind of like how, well, War of the Worlds was set up. How you have, the radio broadcast, you had it as a telling from a news reporter until they found out that they were screwing with everybody's minds, and then they decided, shit, we need to go ahead and change that out and just do it as a regular radio show. In the movie, it's from the point of view of a young man with kids who just don't like him because he's not always there. From the way it looks like in World War Z, we're getting another, hi, I'm the dad, I need to protect my family kind of thing, which is good for a movie because I doubt they could really go ahead and throw in an interviewer walking around the country post-World War Z and talking to all these people and getting their words on what happened. There are some things I would have loved to seen. I would have loved to seen the Canadian wilderness after World War Z. For those of you, again, spoilers, in the book, several people travel to the Canadian wilderness, very high above the snow line, because they are told zombies freeze in the winter, which is, in the book, is true. They freeze solid. And so a lot of people went up there, they built fires. Once they ran out of burning materials, they cut down trees. Once they cut down trees, they burnt anything they possibly could. So basically, humans, ourselves, decimated a great forest. And they never explain how much of a decimation there is, but you can tell it's pretty bad. I don't think we're going to get that from World War Z. I think from the movie World War Z, I should say. I'll just call it Movie Z. For Movie Z, we're not going to get that. We're going to get the, I think, from all the trailers is, I'm here, I've got to save my family, I'm going in, I am the rough and tumble, I am the leading man, I have to go ahead and save everybody. Which we don't need out of a zombie movie. I mean, if we're going to do that, let's do a zombie movie and not call it World War Z. Let's just call it Attack of the Zombies. If we're going to do World War Z, I want to see stuff like distress happening. I want to see the slow-moving zombie. Because if you look in the trailers, they're fast-moving. They seem smart. They're crawling over each other. They're climbing things. They're jumping. World War Z, that wasn't the case. They were just mobile bodies. They would pile on top of one another until finally they actually created a small mound. That's how it was. And that's how it should have been. But that's not how it's happening in the movie. In the movie, they're running. They're fast. They can jump. They can follow people. They didn't do that in the book. So that's my biggest thing about that. Then, of course, I would have loved to have seen, again, another character from the book, Todd Wainio, give his interpretation, as well as, of course, the mercenary, which I forget his name now, but the one that is giving that little story about working in the rich persons, the celebrities around them, and what happens to them during World War Z. For those of you who have, like I said, for those of you who have not read that book, definitely go out there and buy it, or go to your local library and read it. More than likely right now, with a lot of people, are going to go out there and probably buy it or read it just to see how the movie comes out. which I hope they think the book is better, because I personally think that the book will be better. Second movie slash book I'd like to talk about is one by one of my favorite authors, and I know I'm going to mess up his name because I always mess up everybody's name. It's a family trait. Neil Gaiman. If I didn't mess up his name, good. If I did, it's alright. I'm sorry. But I love all his books. I hope they do an American Gods movie to justice. But to be honest, I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to do the movie Z route. The movie in question that I really liked, and I'm happy they went a certain way with it, was Stardust. Again, spoilers for those of you who don't know. Stardust is about a young man who lives in a town called Wall. One night he goes over the wall to find a star for his beloved. It's basically the story that will be on the book. The spoiler part of that is how the ending is. Now, if you don't want to know how it ends, either the movie or the book, please leave shut off this video or skip to the end. I'll go like this to let you know we are past that point, okay? But I want to go ahead and bring this up for those who have actually seen the movie and are thinking, oh, I want to go ahead and read the book, or those who have read the book and said, oh, I want to go ahead and see the movie. Because for those who've read the book, this is a great incentive to see the movie. Those of you who have seen the movie, not such a big incentive to read the book. Even though, of course, like I said, I love the book, not a great incentive. Okay? Spoiler starting now. In the book, we have, of course, Tristan. He meets the star. They get through all the adventures. I mean, it's basically the same. There's a lot of things that gets thrown out because, you know, we have time constraints of the movie. But in the end, the star and Tristan end up together. In the book, they get together. And they wander around the country. They see a few things. They come back to the castle. Tristan's mother is there. His father isn't, because in the book, his father marries back in Wall. But the mother's there. Mother goes ahead and reigns over the kingdom until she dies. Tristan and the star reign over the kingdom until he dies, and then she reigns over the kingdom forever because she is an immortal. She is a star, after all. In the movie, what happens is Tristan's father, Tristan's mother, both get together and live happily ever after in the kingdom. Tristan and the star live forever because they're apparently very, you know, they're immortals. And she and him go back up and live in the stars. Now, the movie, I like the ending for that because it is very happy, very love story-ish, and the whole movie itself plays kind of like a love story. Now, the book in certain spots play like a love story. There's a scene where they're back at the camp on the other side of the wall, where they're sitting around with a bunch of people laughing and joking, drinking, and just thinking, you know what, this is what we want to be. We want to be with each other. And it's, like I said, very love story-ish. It is a very good adventure story, but it's very love story-ish. Movie brings it out a little bit more, especially with the travels on the lightning boat, where they're capturing the lightning. Which I gotta say, Robert De Niro did a wonderful job in that movie. If you ever have not seen that movie, definitely watch it for Robert De Niro. So, but the ending, like I said, sappy love story ending versus heartbreaking, depressing ending. Especially since in the actual ending of the movie, they say they had many children, which in the book they can't because she's a star. She's not human. The genetics don't match up, you know. But you know, that's it. So I'm going to do the signal. Okay, that was the signal to let you know we're back. And that is that, again, like I said before, see it. Robert De Niro is fantastic. Love him as the pirate. But beyond that, that's my main rant. Other than that, I've seen a few movies that didn't like because of how they played everything. Those of you who have seen and read Harry Potter, you know exactly what I mean when we see Neville actually go ahead and kill the snake. I mean, it's like it's played up so well in the book. Movie, it's like, haha, snap, I did it by accident. Done. No, that's not how it's supposed to be. Neville was a pimp. He was. So, but those are really the only two movies / books I've seen that have really thrown me out. I've read most of the Lee Child books with Jack Reacher in them. The movie Jack Reacher, which is based off of the novel One Shot. Anybody who has not read a Lee Child, definitely go out there and read it. However, with One Shot, it's a very good read, but I wonder how Tom Cruise is going to play Reacher. I'm going to wait until Redbox comes out. I'm sorry. I want to go see it, but at the same time, I'm afraid that one of my favorite characters is going to go ahead and be just thrown through the dirt. You know, we've all seen our characters do that. You know, those of us who love Jim Butcher remember the television series of Dresden Files. And we're not going to get into that.
3 hams will certainly kill him. 3 hams.
3 hams will kill him. 3 hams will kill